Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Lisa, and today I'm going to be making some tall tags. So if you saw, recently I did a video for what's in my book. I believe that's where I was trying to find, I was doing some pockets and decorating them, and I kept running across the fact that I didn't have tall enough tags for a lot of these things. So I decided to make some tall tags. So that is what we're going to do for Tag You're It. Making some tall tags. All right, so I did one prototype of this, and I'm gonna show you how I did that. So we're gonna start with book pages. I have this old book from, I think it's the 1930s, the Brothers Karamazov. It's nice and yellowed, but it's pretty brittle. So what I did is I ripped one of the signatures out to start working on that. So let us get to going. All right, so I think that's the center. So I'm gonna take some of the jewel pages off. That's all glued together. Okay, now I'm gonna save this one for page backs because there's a lot of good blank colors there. And looks like I'm gonna save that one. Okay. All right, save that one. Okay. All right, just getting them taken apart so we can do it. All right, so looks like that's really the only ones I need to save. The rest are pretty well done. Okay, so if you have stronger book pages, you can do, I'm gonna start with the single ones here, and then I'll go to the double. If you have stronger book pages, you can just do them by themselves. Basically, all I'm going to do is fold these over and glue them to themselves just for strength. But like I said, if you have strong enough ones, you can just do one page to one page. I'm gonna run out of glue stick, I have a feeling, with this. All right, so we're just gonna glue it to itself to make it stronger. But like I said, these are pretty, this book I have is pretty weak. So for the tag that I made for the example, I did 2 pages together. So we're going to go ahead and I need a new glue page. These rip so easily if they are stuck to a page. All right, so I'm going to take the folded end and put it on the inside just to give a nice folded edge on that side. And then when I fold this one in, there'll be a folded edge on that side. Okay. All right, so that's how we're gonna make them. Get rid of that. Now, what you can do if you have, let that dry for a minute, if you've got double pages like this, you can go ahead and just go ahead and glue them into themselves without separating them, like that and that. And then go ahead and whoops, geez Louise, stuck to yourselves there. So you can see how fragile this one is. You can go ahead and just fold it into itself and do that. Now the problem is, if you want to cut it down later, you might have some open spots for it. And we are going to cut these down. Then I'm going to make a few more of these so we can go ahead and show you how I'm going to decorate them. I probably should have folded this one first. Just being a rebel. Going with hopes that I can do this on one shot, which I did. See what I'm saying about how this is really brittle? This book is really brittle. Oh, I gotta glue both sides. But I think we can still work with it. I know which way it went. Oh, I guess it went that way. Problem is, oops, don't slide. All right, well that hardly looks like I fixed it. That's good. All right. One more double page. We'll do one more here. I'm going to throw a little glue on the inside here. Okay. Yeah, definitely brittle book. It's not really good for much else on its own, besides backing stronger things. And creating their own. So, all right. So, like I said, you could decide for your own how you want to do it. Now, I have. Let me take this glue page that I just put away. You know, it's got a mess on here. Let's see if I can get that off. Piece of paper. There we go. So this is definitely a little thicker, and it's obviously newer. It's a free book I got from the library. Not anything, for sure, anything good about it. Except for the fact that it's a much stronger book page. Well, there we go. So for all the glue pages that you want to use, if you're gluing them, if you before you toss them, throw a bit of glue on there and fold it up nicely, and you will have a tall tag base to start. Okay. Now this book happens to be. I'm gonna flip. This book happens to be what, 9 inches? Yeah, a little over 9 inches. Now, the journals that I'm working on are more where I take the 8.5 by 11s, fold them together, and then by the time you put a pocket in there, you probably need about a 7.5 inch tag. So I need to trim these down. Now I'm going to trim one of them. I hope I can still feel it's kind of cool, like it's wet. This one, let's see this one, did I do 7? Yeah, this one I did about 7.5. That was the finished size for that. Now to keep most of it intact, I'm just going to chop a bit off the top. And I'm going to try to save the page number at the bottom because I like the number. I was able to save the page number on that one. And did I get to 7.5? I did. Okay. Now if you want to make it skinnier, this is probably a good time to do it. This is just a hair bigger than 3 inches. 3 inches is a nice size, I think, for a tag. Is that what this one was? Yeah, this was 3 inches. But if you want to straighten out what's there, since you can see the folds, you can do that. I'm fine without doing that. I can tell this is still a little wet. Oh, that's what I wanted to do. Get you out of the way. Okay, so for the tag bases, if you want to go ahead and take care of them, you want to snip them, round them, actually cut them, either way. When I'm mass making them like these, I like to use my tag cut. I will do the big one on the top, and just to make sure it will slide in, I do the little one on the bottom. Okay. And I found in my craft stash brushed corduroy, which I did not have. I've been using the, was it frayed burlap? Yeah, frayed burlap a lot. Now this ink pad, kind of see it's kind of indented in. This is an old ink pad, but miraculously it still works. So I wanted to try using the brushed corduroy on this project because it has a more of a orangey brown, and I thought it worked really well with these this book with its distressed color, natural, and then it also works with the couple books that I've decided to use for the fillers. Okay, all right, so we pretty much got the tags down. I can go back in a little bit and I'll chop these down to 7.5, do the corners for that, but we know what that's at. Okay, so we're gonna put this aside. Now for the decorating, what I'm going to use is a couple of my current find books, my Edith Holden book and that Victorian Flower album book that I found, and then also another floral book. This collection is going to be florals. It doesn't have to be florals for the tall tag. I just like the way these looked. So what I did on the first batch, I took my floral album book and I found some pages that had flowers that went straight up and down like this. I'm not going to cut, I decided not to cut this one because it's got a nice view this way, but I wanted to show you what the full page looked like to cut some flowers down to fit in there. I'll save that for another project. All right, so this is, this book happens to be about 8.5, 9, almost 10, yeah, almost 9 inches tall. So I need to make it a little bit smaller for the tags when I go to add them. But what I decided to do on these is just cut long strips of, whoops, of the flowers. And this one we can cut the top off. And I'm just gonna, how wide is this? It's about 3. I'm gonna cut a little bit more off on that side. I like the edging on this one of the natural edging on it. So I'm gonna cut these about 2.5 wide. So that can go on one tag. This one is definitely too tall. I'm gonna probably cut some of this bottom off. And a little bit of the top. I'll have to re-ink it. And we are at about 7.5. I need a little bit more off of it because I don't want it as tall as the tag. So we're just gonna take a little bit off the top and then a little bit more of the leaves off. Okay. Now if I want it 2.5, all right, I'm gonna go to about 2 3/4. Get rid of that, and so with these flowers, I know I'm losing a bit, but I am fine with that to go down the center of something. So that's how I decided to get to my tags. I got a whole bunch of other ones cut here. This nice one, I haven't cut the height down on that one yet, but just want to show you some of the ones that isn't that fun. I cut out of the book. This one's extra skinny. This one, you can see I cut the flowers down. I might need to cut that a little bit more just to get it to work. And I could go ahead and cut this in here. You can also go ahead and fussy cut some of these if you wanted to too. I just like the straightness of them. So that would be, here's a, like I said, Edith Holden book. I think I cut those already. Did I cut any of those? But I would go through and cut this to make strips that will fit inside of there. And then I also have, I'll get those out of the way. So then I also have these kind of pages, which are from a, what is this book called? I think it's Encyclopedia. Pull them all out. Oh, there it is. Illustrated book of garden flowers. There's a few pages that you can fussy cut, but most of these are ones that you want to, they're pretty, fold to make pockets or add as full book pages. But I took a couple of these out of here, and I went through and cut them down so that they could be about, like I said, the little less than 3 inches wide, and then I'll cut the height down because that's pretty enough to make a tag, and then that's pretty enough to make a tag. So something like that, I would take, and we'll start by just getting some of this white off, and we'll do about, like I said, about 2.5 inches. Get some of the white off the top. See how long this one is. This one is, almost 8. So we're just gonna cut a little bit more off the bottom. So there, we can add that as a tag, and then we'll see where this one lands at 2.5. That's not too bad. And same like the other one, cut a little bit off the bottom, cut some of the white off the top, and see this ends at about 7.5. Okay, so we got lots of fun flowers to use. Get rid of some of these scraps. Okay. All right, so we got some fun flowers to work with. Plenty to make some tags. All right, so start with this one. Now, one other thing I did with this is I did take my straightener, or I don't know, corner edger, and I did mirror what the tag was. So I did big cuts on the top and small cuts on the bottom, just so when it laid on there, it had a nice nice flow to it. Now, before I glue that front on, I'm going to cover the back. And I could, I don't necessarily like to cover the whole back because I like some of the words popping out. I could probably break this without even cutting it. It's so brittle. Let's see if I can get this glued on without ripping it. Okay. All right, so we'll have a nice writing space in the back of that tag when all is said and done. I'm just gonna distress this side. Now, I didn't distress this before I glued it on because that was that old book page that already had some color to it, so I wasn't too worried about it looking too new looking. Okay. All right, so this is the flower we'll put on there, and then we can go ahead and add some other decorations that we feel would be nice with it. So I'm feeling a nice little butterfly up here. I did that with this one. And don't want it too big. That would be pretty. So how's your day going? Hopefully well. I wanted to get this video shot. I might be MIA for a couple days. My dad is having surgery tomorrow, hip replacement. So I'm going to be spending the day at the hospital with my mom so she doesn't have to stay there alone. And then we got to pick him up the next day. I have to drive her. So that's going to take up 2 of my days. So we'll see. We'll see what I can get done. So yeah, I like that. I liked how I had a tall tag there. And I have my stamp tags. And I do have the ones that are a little browner. I like that swirly on there. Still haven't tracked down my little scissors. Gonna have to go down and buy a pair, I guess. But you know what happens? As soon as you go and replace something, you find it. Unfortunately, or fortunately, I've been doing okay cutting stuff with the bigger ones. I recently ordered this Elmer's glue, the purple one. I literally have a whole box. I got a good deal on Amazon a couple days ago. So I've been trying to use that. Because buying this in a box, it's pretty expensive, but probably for size-wise, it probably ends up being the same. But it wasn't as big of a hit to the budget. I think I got 60 of these for like 15 bucks. Not too bad. I get like 12 of these for 30 bucks. Something like that. Don't quote me. Okay. So I'm giving these little guys a shot. It just feels weird. They're so tiny. They seem to be gluing okay. Now, I'm not using them for anything, you know, life-altering, but all right. So I'm going to glue this down. Oops, try to glue it straight. Oopsie doopsie. Got a little glooby. Got a little glooby. There we go. Okay. Got this at the Dollar Tree. Actually works pretty good. Okay. All right, tall tag number 2 done. All right, so let's get to this next one cut down, and we'll see what we can make of that. All right, how tall did you end up being? I really am just eyeballing this, and I probably shouldn't. All right. All right, so we want 7. It's just almost there. Just a hair a little bit more off. Okay. All right, so let us tag the top and little tag the bottom, and we'll go ahead and this is the one that I didn't. I only glued the 2 sides, so we're gonna glue that together there. The way I glued it, I wasn't thinking about how it would open after I cut it, so my bad. Do it like the other ones where you glue every page together. Okay, so there should be another layer here. There we go. All right, throw a little glue in there. All right. Okay, well that should do for that. And get the pin in there before I forget, because I don't know how much more I'm going to use of this. Okay, so this was coming apart right there, so I'm going to definitely think I'm going to stick a little bit of stronger backing on this one. Yeah, I think I'm gonna cover the whole thing up, just because. And then I'll come back and cut around it to get this shape like it needs to be. And I'm just going to use the bigger glue stick just because of what space I got here. All the way on the edge, because that's the edge I want to catch. Okay. Okay. All right, let's get rid of these little bits. Okay, and let's go ahead and ink this back, just because it is so white. It's actually an off-white, boy, compared to the front of the tag. It definitely looks white. All right, make sure you get the edge back on the front that I was overlapped a little bit, but all right, well that should take care of that seam that was a little bad. Okay. so I really do like that one. That is really pretty. Won't have to really add too much to that, will we? All right. I think I'm going to leave a little bit more white at the top just in case I want to put an eyelet up there. And then we'll go ahead and cut this bottom off where it needs to be cut. Yeah. All right, so for this one, I am going to stress the edges a little bit. Oh, I gotta snip the bottom here because this was a fairly newer book. I mean, it was probably compared to the Edith Holden or that Victorian album. I think it was from the 80s, maybe 70s. So not extremely new, but color-wise, definitely new-ish. Okay. All right, let's get this one down. Okay. I don't mind that number and the words sticking out. It kind of adds a little dimension to that top there. Okay. Now I think I might want to add something down here. Nothing too extreme tag, but I'm thinking maybe one of my fabric labels might be fun, just to give it a little dimension. Oh, that's kind of cute. It disappears. I like that. Kind of like that color that goes in there. Okay, so for these, I have been adding them with Fabri-Tac. And I just realized that I forgot to fray the edges. Not necessary to do, but I like when all four sides have a little fray. Okay. Strings like everywhere. I can add a little more glue to the center since this is going to go into a pocket probably, and get a little bit of wear and tear on it. So I want to get it stuck good. Yeah. I think maybe I do want a little something there, and your order number with special delivery. That could be fun. Oops, stuck to my finger. Your order number, special delivery. All right, just gonna knock off the edges with a teeny tiny snip with my ginormo scissors. All right, just gonna ink the edge just to get rid of that white that's on the side. And I am gonna use the Fabri-Tac because these are Tim Holtz labels and they are a little thicker. Put it right at the edge of that tag so I do leave room for an eyelet if I want to add it. Yeah, that's cute. Your order number, 66816, special delivery of some, I think those are what, daisies? Pretty. Yeah, I like it. Okay. All right, let's do. Should we do one of the whiter pages here? Now, obviously, I'm using book pages on this, but if you wanted to use fancier pages to do, and then decorate them with something else, like that. This could be fun. All right. Nothing like changing on the fly, right? All right, so we're gonna. Okay, so we need a 3-inch tag. So we're gonna take that off. And how tall are you? Okay, you are 8, so we need to just take off about 3/4 of an inch there. Do that. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, perfect. 7.5. Okay. I like when a plan comes together. Yeah, I think that'll be the front. That's a page. They go that way. Yeah, they definitely go that way. Okay. All right, so we'll go ahead and glue this together. And this is, like I said, the that Encyclopedia Illustrated book where these flowers came from. Just a black and white page in there. Yeah, I almost feel bad covering that up. So what shall I do? What shall I do to just cover it up a little bit? That's probably too small. All right, do I want to do like maybe I'll do like half a page. That's just too white. Too yellow. We find it. Can I find it in between? I have a whole stash of cut-offs over here. That's what I'm looking through. That's a little better. Okay. I have a whole stash of cut-offs over here that I use for backing. That'll be perfect. Okay. All right, so let's cut this down. Lots of whites and off-whites and every shade in between. Was it this side? Okay, we're gonna use that side. And they definitely come in handy to back journal cards and tags and things like that. So, all right, so we're gonna put it there, cover that flower. So the back of the tag, you could journal on it, but still have something pretty. I like it. Okay. All right, big cut on top, little cut on the bottom. All right, we'll throw a little distress around it. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna say that I'm not gonna add a flower to that, but I'm thinking a pretty butterfly with some colors would be great on here. You're just too big, dude. Facing the wrong way. I think I want one facing that way. Okay. We're narrowing it down. Question is, do I have that? Not too many sideways ones, so He's just... All right, I'll fast forward through this. All right, definitely where I could have used my little scissors, but I like that much better. Just not sure where to put them. Oh, that could be good. Oh, I like it there. Okay. All right, well worth the time. And I don't think I'm going to ink him because I like how his white kind of blends in with the back of the page and kind of goes away. So we're going with it. Okay. All right, so cover that flower up. Yeah. Now, I got these bluish labels, sort of. They're darker blue though. Oh, I like that. It's tiny, but did you see that? I thought it was in my hand and I didn't even pick it up. It's definitely tiny, but I think it goes really well right there. The hint of blue and kind of black. Yeah. I don't mind how simple it is. I like it. Yeah, I think I'm gonna leave that for now. Okay. All right, so the question is, all right, so I think that's probably good enough for now. I made quite a few, so all right. I'll get these cut down and then we'll call this video done. I can decorate these and show you what they look like after we're done. Okay. Getting pretty good at estimating how long 7.5 is. Okay. Okay, well, I'm gonna finish these up like I said off camera. If you would like to see future videos like this on making tags, oh, that was too big. Oh well, we're going with a big one. Shouldn't talk and walk and chew gum at the same time, right? If you'd like to see future videos on tags being made, please subscribe to my channel. If you like the video, a thumbs up would be great. And as always, I love seeing you here. I appreciate everyone that stops by, and if you have any suggestions for future tags or other ideas, I'd love to hear them in the comments section. But that is going to be a wrap for this video. So I'm going to just lay these out, see what we did. All right, I'll be able to add those. And yeah, there we go. So, all right. So we did that one. That's pretty. I like that butterfly. And then this impromptu. I really like that one. I think that looks nice. And this with the big flowers and the fabric. I like that. And the one that I did originally off camera. Yeah. All right. So that is going to be it for today. Thanks so much for stopping by, and have a wonderful and creative day.